All right, ready?
All right, let's do it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it, partner. Let's get it all right.
Your product based with hard luck. Based with hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Your product based with hard luck. Based with hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck.
Good morning and welcome to Hard Luck Show. They call me Lucky Titanium because I have a fucking titanium shoulder now in my arm. That's why I'm wearing this sling.
Yeah.
But we're here for the Hard Luck Show for you guys. Sitting across from me, my partner
is Chumahan Bone, American Indian, Southern California, elegant barbarian, and here with Big Lux once again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And old Blue Eyes himself.
That's right. Sean the alien.
Mm-hmm.
Visiting your Earth.
Reporting live from Alien. Reporting from Alien.
Reporting
That's
from...
right. Oh, that's right.
Dude, he took a CBD.
That's right.
And he's tripping a little bit.
Son of a bitch. God damn it. God damn it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Yeah.
And, ladies and gentlemen, recurring guest, returning, reigning champion from one of the greatest podcast episodes.
I ain't those little fucking lids on the coffee.
I just told him to make thing, don't panic.
Right.
And I swear to God, I pushed it all the ways around.
We had-
You know what I'm
All the
saying?
ways around.
God damn that shit.
Did we get that on camera? Did it spill on camera?
No, I don't know, man. You gotta get on me. Anyway, listen. You know what? He never does that for any other guest, which means you are special. That is an amazing big look. Me.
Tell you guys something.
He's in the bathroom.
We got that on camera.
Did we get that on camera?
I don't know.
That's
Make a
good.
statement real quick.
Go ahead. Shh. This
is
just
that waterproof?
Just came off, bro.
Yeah, it just rolled right off.
Waterproof.
Yeah, I scotch
Stain
guarded.
resistant.
I scotch guarded.
I just wanted to introduce
Yeah.
the brand new water resistant.
I scotch
Hey, that was
guarded that
perfect.
cookies outfit.
Yes.
Man. I hit it with the scotch guard.
Oh, OG Suicide, please, bro. Excuse me. I'm so sorry for that,
You're
man.
good, dog.
The
Sorry for it.
titanium.
Hey, no need for excuse. You didn't break wind.
Nope, I didn't. There's a new
If he
shoulder.
does, it blows up
Hey,
like
the
a
new
balloon.
shoulder went out on. I didn't break wind, dog.
You
At
good?
least I didn't shit my
You
pants.
just say excuse me. You know, like, what you do, fart? Don't need to say excuse me. We good.
My man. All right, where were we before we got sidetracked
Hey,
here?
it was gonna get deep.
Yeah, it's going to get deep. It got deep already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, today
Yes.
we have recurring guests, part of our family over at the Hard Luck Show. Let's introduce and reintroduce OG Suicide in the house.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
What's up, man?
Man, loved one. What's good?
Yeah.
What's good, man?
Yeah.
Let's get it. Let's
What's
get
good
it.
is we got to get Dre on a little bit.
Yeah.
And we got to introduce
Definitely.
and find out a little bit more what was going on with him. I wanted you to come down as well and catch up with you. Well, listen, the last time we had OG on, it got real deep. That was on our show.
Yeah.
And then I went out to No Jumper, which, by the way, you guys, OG Suicide, since the last time you heard him, has a great show on No Jumper. He has a great podcast himself.
OG Suicide in the building.
OG Suicide in the building.
Wait, so for those that are uninitiated, explain a little bit about OG Suicide, if you would, Mr. Suicide.
Oh, Mando.
What is No Jumper? How can they find out? Who is that? What is that?
Okay, No Jumper is mega platform. Been around for years. And how the name OG Suicide in the building came about, you know, my nephew AD has a show on No Jumper as well.
Okay.
He's been over there for a little while. So every Tuesday, you know, when we all leave the studio,
Yeah.
you know, me and Dre, we go up to No Jumper. And when I walk in the door, you know, they pretty much live on live stream. And when they see me, first thing they say is OG Suicide in the building.
Yeah.
And that became like pretty much like a household saying. You know, it went from a saying to a brand, from a brand to a podcast. And for about 2 years, every Tuesday, OG Suicide in the building. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so now you have your own show,
Yes.
and it's called OG Suicide in the Building.
OG Suicide in the building.
And when do people hear it? Where does it hit? How often? Da da da.
I mean, well, every Wednesday I film a show, then I also go live. I first started just filming the episodes. And
Yeah.
then we put them on the YouTube channel, and they wanted to do a test run to see, you know, how would it hold up, and
It held up.
oh yeah, it's still here.
So how many shows you got under your belt now, man? How long's it been?
Probably like 30
Damn.
shows.
Okay.
In a matter of, you know, few months, 30 shows, and probably about like 8 live shows.
Right, but I mean that's pretty good, right? Big
Yeah,
bucks?
bro. And the other thing is the live show's a whole different trip.
Oh yeah.
You know, a live show's like, we don't do that. We do these recorded, we you know,
Yes.
obviously, but a live show's like, we've talked about some live podcasts.
Yeah.
Have we had 1 or 2 that were live?
I can't remember.
No, we haven't, dude. So that's a whole different ball of wax. I came on and was, first off, extremely impressed with the whole setup they got.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit was like I was at ABC. And we got down, but everything
we
was
did our
running
thing.
live, and
Yes.
they had to get up and make sure we were on. And then 3, 2, 1, action.
Did they do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
They
go.
count you off?
Yeah.
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2.
We live.
We're live.
Wow.
We're live.
Little live light comes on, all that.
NASA, we have liftoff.
So how do you start the show when they tell you go live? OG Suicide in the Building. Do you have like a signature?
Man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in once again and every week to OG Suicide in the Building. I appreciate the love, the support. And today, in the building, I got like my loved one. You know what I mean? Luck came out. Luck came out on the show.
Yeah.
Definitely. We had a powerful episode, loved one, that spoke volume, you know, from 2 older perspectives, man, into the youth, and not just the youth, but into everybody in general.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yes.
Absolutely, man.
And what goes, so for you, what is the show about? What are you making it about?
It's about mental health.
Yeah.
It's about
It is.
mental health.
My show is
Yeah.
about mental health.
That's why I'm telling you, his show was really like, not only was it needed, he's doing something and opened up a lane, man, it's becoming every hour a place that people need to go. People have to go.
Where
It's
did you
great.
go on your episode? Did he have you on the couch?
Yeah, certainly. I mean,
what happened?
the outline of this show is about that. So we spoke about that. We spoke about some addiction, some mental health, how it affected my life, my career, my ups and downs, you know, and we also talked about solution. We talked a lot about solution in that show, the second half.
Yes.
About positive things and that how we need to be upstanding for the next generation, and nobody else is going to hand off that torch, and looking out for our youth and looking out for the next generation and these types of things. So, you know, all around the basis of mental health and healthy living, you know,
Yes.
recovering living, you know?
Yeah. So, Mr. Suicide, let me ask you this, my friend.
Yes.
What do you consider essential for mental health?
My thing is this. A lot of people feel like, well, from what they was taught and, you know, showed, don't show weakness. Don't talk about what you've been through. You know, that's being weak. Don't cry. No. Talk about it. Let's start from where life started and what went on during this time. And as you got older, when you went through a time frame in your life where you went through depression, how did you get through that depression? What were the steps you took to get through that depression? And what are you doing now in life, you know, to continuously keep the depression off of you? What are you doing in life? And you take that story and you put it in front of an audience and you let them watch that story and say, wait a minute, I'm going through that.
Right.
Either they're going to go through the exact or similar. But no matter what, every story's different. So you take all these stories and you put them in front of the world, and everybody you can pretty much choose, watch them all, and you'll learn from it.
Take what you want.
Yeah, take what you want from it. Because people need to understand and know you're not alone.
Based on what you've experienced in your life and based on what you've experienced in your show, meeting new people,
Yes.
okay, or old friends.
Yes.
All right. What do you think is maybe some of the top reasons, factors that go into giving people depression?
A lot of people have been abandoned, been mistreated, by family members, abused by family members, bullied in school. It's like the reasons, like, it multiplies. It just goes on and on. There's different reasons. Everybody depression is different. And the key thing is a solution for the depression. Because after my show started, from my interview with Adam, is what really took off and what really gravitated a lot of people to me as well on a different platform, because I've been doing suicide prevention and awareness for the past 15 years of my life before I got on, the YouTube scene. And that just pretty much put me in front of more people, between the ages of 18 and let's say like 28, 29, 30 that either have a drug addiction, giving up on life, feel like there's no hope. They have no hope. I'm out of high school. I don't know what to do with myself. I can't get a job. And the slightest thing I'm learning will cause a person to go into depressed mode. Because it's like, who do I talk to? When they have something on their mind, some people will be like, oh, man, you sound dumb. You sound crazy. Get out of here. I don't want to hear that. But that's not what they want. They're coming to you. If a person come to you and open up their heart, the least thing they want you to tell them is, I don't want to hear that. They're coming to you to vent.
Yeah, but some people, when they come to you, I'm not arguing one way or the other, but I'm saying in some situations, somebody comes to vent to somebody who's trying to keep that shit away. Like, they themselves are all like this close to depression, and you come and vent, tell your true feelings. There's some people who are afraid to help. They're afraid to open the door because they don't know if they're going to be able to handle it.
Vent to each other. You vent to me, I vent to you. We work together as a team to come together and give each other advice on a solution. So what the breakthrough is with me, people know my life story. So when they start seeing these episodes come out, it's like they was blown away, like, wow. Yeah. And then I put my number out there publicly. So on the average, every day I get about 20, 25 phone calls a day, about 30, 40 messages on social media. And the key thing is they really blows them away is I respond to them, or I answer the phone and I talk to them and they ask me for advice. And I give them real advice that they can stand on. I stand on it. And the advice that I give them, man, you can live by it. And then what really, gets them is I check up on them. Just see how they follow up. Let me see how y'all doing. I got about 6,000, 7,000 contacts in my phone. And since the show started a few months ago, I just say the numbers. Oh, you know what? Let me go. Hey, how you doing? Man, it's really OG. Everybody be like, wow, you really answered your phone. Like, yeah, I'm supposed to. That's why I give it out, to answer it. I've been had this number 17 years. Right. And I'm being that, I really put myself in a position where I know this is my calling. And I signed up for it. And I'm going to live by it. You know? So when they reach out to me, I'm going to give them that ear. I'm going to listen. I'm not going to stir them away.
What's one of the most surprising things you heard in all these years of listening to people? Is there something?
Well, I've got many of phone calls where I've talked people out of committing suicide. Where they have reached out. I'm ready to die right now. That close. Ready to end their life. And I stay on the phone with them. Whether it's an hour, 2 hours, or however long it take to continuously tell them and give them a reason why they should want to live when they actually are are neglecting what I'm saying and, you know, being rebellious about it. Like, no, I hear you, but no, I feel like, what am I living for? I'd rather die than live.
They're hell-bent on dying.
Yeah, that's their whole focus. Like, I want to die right now.
Except they called OG suicide, so there's something in there, right?
There was something in the back of their mind that made them say, you know what? Let me see. And I've talked many of them. There's a lady, a friend of mine, Burner, Sir Burner. That's my boy. He hit me. He said, man, my homegirl, man, I just got off the phone with her. She's talking about killing herself. She, you know, her kids don't want nothing to do with her. She's a lawyer, financially stable,
Right.
and I called her. I said, give me her number. I called her. I don't want to put her name out there, but I called her and I said, hey, this is OG, and you know, Berner, he told me to call you. Like, what's going on? And you know, she started crying and she was drinking.
Yeah, that's not good.
She was drinking, and when I tell you she was drinking, she was drinking. So she was like in denial, like, no, you can hear a knife. She got knives. You can hear the knife in the background through the phone.
Man.
And as I'm listening to her in my mind while I'm talking to her and telling her, like, no, this is not what you want to do. My kids don't want nothing to do with me. And she had all these different reasons to say, I hear what you're saying, but I don't hear what you're saying. I want to die. You know, I got the knife right here. You can hear it. But the more I stayed on the phone with her, it seemed like the more she kept drinking. So she got even more intoxicated to where she ended up falling asleep on the phone. And I was on the phone with her for about like an hour and 45 minutes. I'm like, I'm not hanging this phone up. You know, like I was explaining to her, like, every day above ground is a blessing. Like, you have a lot going on in your life. You have kids. Try to find a way to fix the problem of why your kids don't want nothing to do with you. You know, sometimes you have to own up to things.
Right.
You know, sometimes you got to be the bigger person in the situation.
Sometimes
no matter how you feel.
Sometimes you got to be the parent.
Yeah, mandatory. You have to. You know, you have to be the parent. And like I said, she ended up going to sleep on the phone. Literally. That's how intoxicated she was. And next morning, you know, she was just on the phone. I stayed on the phone for like another 15 minutes, just like calling her name out, and she was out cold. I called her in the morning, and she was like, wow, I can't thank you enough. Like, I remember talking to you. And, you know, I still check on her. And she like, no, I'm definitely fine. Like, my kids is in my life. They're back in my life. We're back together as a family. And I said, let me say one thing to you. Imagine if you would have went through with it that day and actually took your life.
Right.
You would have never had that chance to build that relationship back with your kids again. And she understood that. And she's fine now. I talked to her probably about 4 or 5 days ago. She's good. She's good. The thing is, man, is when people look at me, they know it's sincere.
I mean, that's true. That just comes off of you in waves.
Yeah, this is not a gimmick. This dude been through hell with buckets of gasoline.
Right.
And took the cards I was dealt and played them.
Let me ask you another question. And this isn't, I'm not trying to get too deep with it.
No, go ahead.
No.
Deep sea dive with it. It's fine with me.
Deep sea dive.
No, but
Put your goggles on.
Submarine,
partner.
whatever you want to, however you want to go. Let's
Get your
go.
tank ready,
Snorkel.
partner.
Let's go.
No. I'm kind of curious because I think about this problem of suicide, right?
Okay.
And I look at today, the modern society or wherever we live, right?
Yes.
And I can see how there would be a lot of pressures. I can see a lot of people cut off from culture. I can see a lot of people. So do you have a concept, like, do you think about like a time when being a human it wasn't easy, but like maybe it was more grounded and that suicide wasn't?
Well, social media, when social media hit the world like a storm, it's like the suicide rating went through the roof, because everybody have this certain persona that they want to hold up and be this certain individual on social media.
Yeah.
And then it's like, in social media world, they will love you today and crush you tomorrow. And it'll break you down like a puzzle.
Right.
You know? And how do you build yourself up from that? You was here, and then this the little slip and fall in your life, and everybody crush you. You go from a star, you get arrested for the littlest thing. Now there's memes on you. There's all these different things out there about you that, and you seeing it. You can't avoid it. And then you keep going and look at it. And you seeing it more. You're getting phone calls. That's enough to break a person down. Come on, man. You got millionaires committing suicide. So it's not about money. You know, you can have all this money, but not be happy.
Well,
I'd rather be rich in happiness and then be financially stable.
Because I was thinking about society, and I was like, well, so when, at what point do empires come along, right? They steal the land from the American Indian. They put black folks in chains, right, and don't pay them. And that system was super oppressive, right?
Yes.
And the people that did it, a lot of times we think like, this only happened to black Americans, but the truth is even the masters got sick. They got diseased by that, right?
Yes.
So I think about all of that, and then on top of that, the rest of whatever happens in the 40s, 50s, 60s, right?
Yeah.
And then social media. So I'm thinking like, man, right?
You got to realize, though,
Go ahead.
back in them days, don't forget, people were uneducated.
What does that mean?
No knowledge. You wasn't even allowed to read a book.
And
You couldn't think for yourself.
yeah, but
You were controlled.
that's true.
You know, it was mind control
Oh, for sure.
during those times. So
Yeah.
if it's mind control and you're uneducated and you're not allowed to do certain things, or we gonna do something to you. We catch you with a book, we gonna do something to fear. They built that fear up
Yeah.
till people were scared. They lived in fear.
Yeah.
Until some eventually was like, you know what? They started thinking for themselves. And was like, I'm out of here.
Right.
I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go this way. You know, some got caught, some got away.
Harriet Tubman.
Yeah. You know, this right here is this is powerful. You learn how to use this the right way. It's like playing chess, man. Ain't nothing can mess with you. Ain't nothing can stop. All of you can stop you.
I mean, that's real, bro, because what you're saying is like, okay, so in the American context, we know what you're talking about, but for every king and queen of Europe, they're slaves. They're called Slavic people because they were slaves.
Yes.
That's why they're Slavs.
Yes.
And all that oppression to make like some family, some empire. So that's what I think about when I think about like where we're at now with suicide and mental health. I'm like, maybe this mind wouldn't have got twisted up where it might think like I should die prematurely by my own hand if we didn't give over to these building of empires. This some's got to have more than others.
I wouldn't even blame that. The environment of how you live.
Yeah.
You know, just like me, when I went through what I went through, it had nothing to do with buildings or anything. It was how I was living. I didn't have that guidance. I didn't have an OG suicide that I could talk to and tell them how I felt, because who I was in my neighborhood, the respect factor that I was, for me to come to my OGs and tell them how I'm thinking, I felt embarrassed to even use those words. How the shooter want to shoot himself? So it's like an embarrassing thing. That's where the suicide comes in at. It's like, who do you talk to? If you want to kill yourself, who do you talk to? Who's going to understand you? Who's going to say, you know what, I get it? That's why I put my life on the line, homie, to be the face of Never Give Up. Because I understand. I know what it feels like to pick up a gun and want to eliminate yourself. I know that feeling. I walked in them shoes. So I get it. So when I say I get it, I get it. Not some of these hotlines. I tried to volunteer for a hotline before, and it broke my heart.
Why?
Because they said they wanted to train me, and I would have to take 4 sessions to get on the 1-800 number on the hotline to talk to people. Well, it's going to be $150 a session. You know, it's going to be 4 sessions. And I said, have you ever considered suicide? He said, oh, definitely not. I'm a grad from this humongous college. Yeah. Well, how do you understand what the people that's going through on the other end of that phone? I'm educated in this. I could train you. How about that? I'm more experienced than you are. There's a difference. So that's why when people hear me talk or they see the interviews that I do, I get it. I got a homeboy, man, that, you know what I mean? He came and see me speak at a 5K running walk. I spoke, shared my story. He sit there, clearly watched me tell my story. His brother, probably 2 weeks later, came to him and said, man, I want to kill myself. Oh, you want to kill yourself? You want me to give you the gun? You want me to give you the gun so you can kill yourself? Idiot, you want to die? Here go, I'll give you the gun. Next day, he blew his brains out. See what I'm saying?
Man.
Wrong terminology. He came to you to vent to you, to tell you how he felt. And this is what you tell him? You don't embrace him? You don't make sure you stay with him for the next few days just to make sure he's good and he's comfortable and he get that confidence? Because when a person get to that breaking point, they lose the confidence. They lose everything there is you're supposed to have built up inside of you that represents who you are. When you lose that, then what you got? What do you have? Everything you are, you lose it. Everything that this is who you are. And then one day, all of a sudden, it's just, it's gone. How do you get that back? Where do you get the confidence from? Where do you get the inspiration, the motivation? Who inspires you, the hope?
Man, it's interesting.
Where do it come from?
It's interesting what you were saying, though, because you are saying, like, hey, I was the shooter, and then I wanted to shoot myself. How can I go anywhere with that? And part of it is who you think you are. And it's in crisis.
I knew who I was, but like I said, sometimes when people have things inside their heart, like I said, you know, a lot of people you grow up, oh, don't talk about your problems and your struggles. You weak. You weak. You weak. Oh, don't cry about it. You weak. Oh, you soft. No, you're not. No, you're not. Loved one, Miss Price, who adopted me, she passed in 92. Some days I sit and think about her and shed tears. Some weak? No. I'm going to let it out. I'm going to let it out, loved one. And then I'm going to get myself together and start my day. You're not weak. And that's what my whole thing is to do, to show people, talk about it. Too much pressure will bust a pipe. So you don't let it stay built up. You talk about it. But then when you feeling that way, it's like, who do I talk to? I can't talk to Granny. Granny gonna get on the phone and call everybody. Oh, this idiot over here talking about killing himself. Or I can't talk to this person because he's gonna look at me a certain way. Then it builds up and it builds up and it builds up and it builds up till one day they just snap. They snap. Who do you talk to? So now, like I said, man, I average 20, 30 calls every day of people that's going through it. No matter how big, how small. Sometimes people, they'll lose their job. You know, I had a gentleman hit me, wanted to kill himself. He just lost his job. He like, man, I'm finna lose my apartment. He panicked. Like I said, main thing, don't panic when that time happened. And I pretty much gave him some real advice, like, He was crying on the phone. Like, you'll get another job, loved one. Like, man, I'm finna be homeless. I'm finna have to sleep in my car. I said, listen, go talk to them. Go talk to the people where you live at and let them know what's going on with you. I'm sure they'll give you some time. How long you been living there? Man, I've been living there for about 3 years. Go talk to them. Don't be scared to go talk to them and tell them, I don't have it right now. I just lost my job. I talked to him about 3 days later, man. He had a new job, and they gave him some time. Don't panic. When it hit the fan, don't panic.
Don't panic, Chuman.
At all. You really can't. You really can't. And talk about it. And that's my whole thing of being the face of never give up. Talk about it. If it's on your mind and you feel like you ain't got nobody to talk to, holler at me. Call me. I've been had this number 17 years. My other phone, 12 years. It ain't going nowhere. Reach out, because I'm going to show reach back. Every day above ground is a blessing. And I've learned that. I have no regrets in my life. Nothing I've been through, done in life, nothing. I don't regret it at all. But I can say this, and I stand on it. There's nothing in this world that can ever go on in your life that'll make you want to take your life. Nothing.
Let me ask you a question. So how can I be prepared? Because I don't know that I would be prepared to talk to a friend who was going to commit or wanted to commit suicide. I don't think I have the weapons.
Why not?
To help them through that.
Well, you do have the weapons.
Like, how do I?
You know how to give advice, right?
I mean, yeah, I can give
Pull
advice.
out your feet and hands were registered as weapons.
No, yeah, you know how to give advice, right? Like if
Yeah.
somebody called you,
Yeah.
like if I called you right now, with me, like, hypothetically speaking, let's just say I'm somebody else, and I called you, I'm one of your friends, and,
Right.
and you pick up the phone, and what's your name again, loved one? Sean.
Yeah.
Sean, man, everything is bad, man. I'm ready to die right now.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you're gonna say?
Well, first I guess I would let them know that you have people that love you. And
Okay.
People that don't want to see you go.
Okay.
Our lives would be,
Devastated.
Devastated. Yeah.
And you told me you wouldn't know what to say, right?
Well, I mean,
No,
I think
no.
I think what I'm asking you is how can I be better prepared?
But what you just said is the start
right.
of being prepared. The key thing. You got to let them know they're loved.
Right.
Some people feel like they ain't loved in this world. It's like, who the hell loved me? I used to feel that way. Especially in the hood. Like, man,
Yeah.
cats don't love me, man. I die tomorrow. Okay, yeah, y'all gonna cry and, come to my grave the day they bury me. Then after that is, I'm just a conversation.
Well, that brings up something for me because I feel like a lot of us aren't reaching out to people that we know in our lives and telling them that we are receptive to this.
You know why?
We're receptive
to
talking about this kind of thing.
Because everybody is stuck on text messages, homie. I still live by picking your phone up. I call and check on people. That's how it was before cell phones, when it was rotary. People called and checked on people. Nobody really do that anymore. Just being honest. How many times how often do you pick up your phone and check on loved ones?
He calls me all the time.
I call him all the time.
Oh, but that's one person.
Oh, I call a lot of people all the time.
Okay, how about you?
I text a lot.
See? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes a text could get disconstrued.
Sure.
No,
It could
it's
be misunderstood.
definitely-
Man, how you doing, loved one? Hey, I ain't want nothing, man. I just called to check on you, see how you was doing.
But OGCUICIDE, how do people not fall into the trap? Because you're right. You're right. I mean, it's not even just calling them up. It's the affirmative act of reaching out. And not for something. Not because I need something. Not because but how do you not fall into the trap? Because even reaching out saying, how you doing, you cool, can be cold and distant. Because other person says, yeah, I'm all good. But they ain't good. And then it ain't, but the situation's not right, so you ain't going to press in on
Pull up on them.
I see it all the time.
Pull up on them.
How you doing? Fine.
Pull up on them. Pull up on them so they can tell you eye to eye
Yeah.
how good they're really doing. Come
Yeah.
on. You can read it. Mm-hmm. You can read it. The signs are there.
Oh, I know I can.
Okay. Pull up on them.
Yeah.
Don't always expect. You can't see through the phone. Mm-hmm. You can hear. Mm-hmm. but you can't see.
Boy, you need to
I used
pull
to be
up all
thinking
that-
about, I used to be thinking,
If I can find
I
him,
used to have thoughts.
That
you
guy
know what I
moves
mean?
around.
And a smile on my face the whole time.
right?
You never know.
Dude, listen, I'm in a profession where that's what it is. There's not a single person that I don't go every day and deal with. They're fine, right?
Yes.
Because they can't show weakness because of the professional situation.
But see, that's the key thing. What I'm changing the narratives on. It's not weakness.
Right.
Everybody think, oh, you weak. Because, oh, man, because they be honest with you. Well, man, really, man, I don't feel good, man. This is going on in my life. And, you know, they feel like some people got to leave pride at the front door. Mm-hmm. Pride is mega in this world.
Yep.
From all walks of life. I don't care what color your skin is.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a bad situation or you thinking bad and you got clouds in your head to where you can't see clear, and you call, that pride is gonna make them say, "Oh no, I don't really want to tell them how I feel." Oh man, I'm good. Everything good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whoop. What's up?
But the pain is the pain starts here, and before you know it, it's here. Mm-hmm. That's why I say pull up on them. Pull up on them, loved one. If you have a thought in your mind, like, you know what, like, I don't know. Let me just stop by. No, you can't do it for everybody. I understand.
Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere.
You know what, though? There's also a power for an individual because what you said about being in the hood and feeling like, man, people don't really love me. Yeah, they feel bad. And they'll come to the funeral and they'll put my picture up and they'll be like, man, he was a good dude. And then 10 minutes later, they're back to eating pizza and fucking life goes on, right?
Man, life goes on.
Right? But like, sometimes I've thought of that for myself when it came to like alcohol and drugs or going out or doing some shit like that.
So you used to be heavy on alcohol and drugs?
Oh, shit.
Yeah?
Man, that was well, not drugs, alcohol.
Okay. Well,
All
you
right.
said alcohol and drugs. So
Yeah, but I said
I'm a good listener.
No, I know you are. And then
Okay.
I corrected the thing. I wasn't really a crazy drug
You
dude.
corrected after I asked you, but okay. Let's
That's
go.
true.
All right, let's go.
That's true.
See, I listen.
All right.
Let's go.
I appreciate you, loved
Okay, I
one.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you, loved
Let
one.
it out, loved one.
All right, we'll
Let it out, loved one.
So there was some things though where I realized that if I continued drinking the way I was, I'm going to turn
Yes.
out like some people I didn't want to be.
Okay.
All right, and my life was going to go downhill.
Okay.
I might not die, but I'll just be bumping on the bottom.
Okay.
Right, not doing anything great, not doing anything terrible, just mediocre gray.
Okay.
Like a gray sludge, and people will be like, but their life will go on. I'll be the one that suffers.
Yes.
I'll be the one that misses out on the next day, right?
Yes.
It'll be me that won't know if there's like a new tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It'll be me that didn't maybe this will pass.
Yes.
Right? And that is what has carried me through in the early days. I'm not in those places, and I'm not saying it could never be, because there's things that I love in this world now that if it was taken away, and it happens to people, I don't know how
Every day.
I don't know how I'd get through that.
Every day.
Right? When you become a parent, it's hard to be like, oh man, yeah, I'm tough. Yeah, you're tough, but there's something. So sometimes realizing that like maybe the only person that's gonna really love you is you.
But love starts with yourself first.
Yeah.
If you don't love yourself, then, you know, what do you have?
And when you said about mind control, man, that's like the society mind control. I think one of the things that they do today, especially with whatever, is to teach you not to love yourself. And that's how you would get to a place where you would think it was weak to express your feelings.
Well, a lot of things that's force-fed
Yeah.
to people on social media.
And media in general.
Yeah, and media in general.
Right.
Is tragic. Drama. Stuff to control here. There are some countries that can't even watch the stuff that our youth watch on social media. It's blocked.
Yeah.
They can't see it. Japan is one. They can't watch that. They can't watch people getting jumped and packed out and beat with baseball bats.
They don't
and
want their people
shot
watching that idiot shit.
dead on. They can't watch that. They can't. They can't. And I've said this many a times too, man. As a parent, you got to definitely be a parent and stop letting devices raise your kids. Because in these days and times, man, our social media was outside.
Oh, dude.
That was our
you don't
social
have to
media. We
convince
went
me.
outside.
But I
you
mean,
know?
I watched a
You
lot of
have to
TV.
convince
And I
me.
teach
I
my
watch a
kids.
lot of
I still
TV.
teach my kids that, you know, as well.
Yeah,
Social
yeah.
media is outside, but in these days and times, not all households, but a lot of households, loved one, these devices is the parents.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that.
You know, it's like the parents is just the landlord. They go to work, come home, pay the bills. You know,
I think society's set up that way, though, my friend.
of course.
They started, and I'm not saying women or men should work or not work. I ain't saying that. I'm not into that. I
Ain't
don't
nothing wrong with working.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not into that. But what I will say is the way working changed, right, for some segments of the population, because other segments, both sexes were working from the very beginning. So let's not. All right, but it's separate mom and dad. They're both working, and now the kids are being raised by fucking HBO, Cinemax, and now it's social media, and now it's even worse.
And
I think
public
it's even,
school.
And then they're breaking up homes.
yeah,
That's a big thing.
right.
You know, because
Right.
they say they want a future, but how you want a future and you're destroying it.
Nah, what they say they want, what they really
They don't
want are
want.
more problems. They want you to be sick.
Yeah.
They want you to be scared. They
Yeah.
want you to react.
Live in fear.
Right. Because then they can sell you their products.
That's
they got
it.
for all that.
They make a lot
The
of money
almighty dollar.
off of people
The
who are
almighty
not
dollar.
whole.
Yeah.
Right, right. There's something wrong with you. There
You-
has to be.
You need something, and then you got to buy it.
And that's why you start speaking
That's why I'm
too
not into
clearly.
taking medication.
Yeah. And if you start speaking too clearly and
Oh, you better
confidently,
watch out, boy.
they get rid of your motherfucking
Hell yeah, you better
ass.
watch
Well,
out.
there's two ways they'll do it too. They get rid of you or they buy you.
Yeah. Yes. Damn straight, brother.
Right.
There you go. They get rid of you or they buy you. Either you
That's it.
take the, hey, what do they call that? What they used to call that, nickel or platinum? What they offer you, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
One or the other, right?
Right.
Yeah. But back to when did you get off the alcohol? When did you say to yourself, you know what? I'm done with this. Let me get off of this stuff because this is clearly killing me slowly. I'm dying slow.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what it was.
destroying my insides.
Yeah.
You know, and at what point?
2002.
2002.
I was about 25 or 7. I can't remember exactly. It was in my late 20s.
Okay.
I had a good one. And it was like a situation where, you know, I was still working and doing things, not big things.
It don't matter.
No, but I was still
Anything is
drinking.
better than doing nothing.
Right.
That's another thing where everyone go wrong at as a human. I call it a human error because some people don't really appreciate the most smallest thing in their life because everybody is stuck on the big picture. The big picture.
Yeah.
But you got to grow to the big picture. How are you going to get to the big picture if you don't start small? I know a lot of people, many people hit me up and complain about their jobs.
Yeah.
And, man, I'm paycheck to paycheck, and every time I get paid, it go to all the bills. I don't have nothing left. I said, you got a roof over your head? Like, yeah.
Right.
Fridge full, bills paid? Like, yeah. I said, now imagine life without that job, that little job that you're talking about. How would life be? You're like, man, it'd be all bad. I said, now, my point exactly.
Right.
Appreciate you're able to go to work. You're healthy enough to go to work.
Healthy enough to go to work.
And work that 9 to 5 to be able to cover those bills.
Yeah. 2002,
Two.
I drove blacked out. And I said I was only going to have 2 drinks.
Okay.
Drove blacked out.
What was your choice? A drink.
Fuck, man. I was going to drink 2 beers. Got to the place. My buddy said tequila shots. Completely against everything that I had planned. Totally against it. But it sounded good to me.
Yeah.
Had a couple of shots. Next thing you know, I woke up in my apartment. I don't remember how I got there. Door wide open.
Wow.
Right? Did I kill somebody? Did I hit the thing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
And
That was a wake-up call.
And I got down on my knees. I felt so I felt like a hangover I had never felt before. Crawling out of my skin. Then I prayed, and I never prayed. And I remember saying, and I really did say this, I'll do anything I gotta do to never feel like this again. And
That's that prayer a lot of people say when they're in that situation, but go ahead.
and then it popped in my head, stop drinking. That's instant.
And you stopped. You went cold turkey. from
No,
that day.
God, no.
Oh.
I knew enough. I knew enough that I had tried to stop before, bro.
Yes.
I had tried to stop before. Right?
Okay.
Week here, a month there, blah, blah, blah. All the shit that they talk about.
Okay.
No, I had to go to a certain program.
Okay.
I went to a place where they meet, and I looked at the wall. Right, I'm a fucking student guy, so I'm like, well, I ain't gonna be like any of these fucking chumps. They don't know who they're dealing with. I'm gonna come in here and get an A. Looked at the fucking steps, you know. Found the biggest, burliest, most tattooed dude in the fucking place. Thought, man, someone's gonna give me a start drinking. Gonna have to be some kind of scary motherfucker. Ain't gonna be playing no game. Right? Guy got up, said, nothing changes. Nothing changes. I was like, fuck, that's the dude. That's that guy right there. That's a true story. True story. And I did the work, right? I did the work and everything.
Certainly did.
Yes.
And that was a year in. I was still not feeling happy about the thing though.
Okay.
Right? I did the deal, whatever they laid out, and I was at the 7-Eleven, and I was like, oh man, if I'm gonna feel this miserable, I might as well be fucking drinking. What's the fucking point?
Yes.
Fuck, if I don't feel the relief, what's the point?
Yes.
Right? But just by luck, I called up my buddy. I said, look, this is what I'm doing. The guy's like, maybe you gotta do the steps over again.
Start from scratch.
I was like, maybe I do, right? And the other thing was, I was doing a service thing, right? Like, and I was setting up I was doing the coffee, because the coffee was the one that bummed everyone out, because you had to get up early and carry shit. And I was like, I can handle that.
Make the coffee.
Oh, fucking sergeant, man. Corporal Bones showing up for duty, sir. Right? All that. But it still didn't fuck. So I was talking to my buddy. I said, hey, man, I'm doing service work. And he's like, yeah, bro, but maybe you're doing something that ain't hard for me. Maybe what's hard for them and all that ain't hard for you. What don't you want to do? I was like, man, I don't want to be that guy standing on the steps with my hand out to people saying, welcome home. My name is so-and-so.
Yeah.
So you did it?
I fucking did, dude. And
You did it.
Not only did I do it, but I felt awkward as hell doing it. And my name was Chumahan. I didn't have the braids yet and all that shit. I was all chubby and fucked up looking. I was like Chumahan, and people were like, what? What the fuck?
Like, what the fuck is this say?
Yeah, exactly. What kind of name is that? What are you, fucking? Yeah, and all that shit, bro. But
that helped it? That was it?
it was enough of a challenge.
Okay.
Right, for me, really.
Okay.
To get me off of whatever it was I was thinking about.
Well, that's good.
And then about 2 years into that, I definitely felt better.
Okay.
Definitely felt better. Had a renewed sense of purpose or whatever that was. Nothing was fixed, right? There was still other shit that had to get, but like you said, you got to start small and build out. From where I am now with a wife
Grow.
and a kid.
Right.
You always growing, right? In life, right?
Well,
No, when you're born as a baby, you grow.
it's true.
1 years old, 2 years old, 3 years old, 10 years old, then 13 years old.
I stopped growing about when I was 5 years old and height. That's why I'm short.
But then from 13-year-old, you grow into adult, 21. 30. From 30, you're still growing.
Yeah.
You hit that 40, you're still learning. You're still growing.
That's true.
You hit 50, you're still learning. You're still growing. Every day, you're still growing because you're growing into each step of your life, from a baby into walking. Now you're walking, you know? Like I said, when you hit that from 1 to 10, from 10 to 13, when you become a teenager,
Yeah.
you're still learning. You're learning who you are as a teenager. You growing into this teenager. 30-year-old, you grow into that age bracket. 40-year-old, you grow into that age bracket. Well, what are you going to be doing at 40? It's like you still planning your life.
It's true.
At 50, you're planning your life for what the fuck you going to be doing when you're 70 if you're still around. You're always planning your life. You're always working on yourself. No matter what age you are, you're always working on yourself for the future of your life.
So here's the real question.
Shoot.
You've laid it all out. Lots of wisdom.
Yes.
What are you working on, OG Suicide?
Yeah.
What's the real thing? Don't bullshit us.
Come on, man. I don't lie to kick it.
I know.
Don't bullshit.
I know.
I'm working on, like I said, being the face of never give up, loved one.
Right, but I mean,
stand
personally,
on me personally.
Your challenge, I know you're good.
I'm building a podcast, you know,
Personality-wise.
and I'm looking to take that national. June 25th, Let It Out, Loved One. How Let It Out, Loved One came about. I guess you could say I'm Barbara Walters' black cousin, because I get people to sit down with me on my show, and they know it's a comfort zone. Ali
they start
free.
crying.
You're safe. You're safe here. Whatever you want to talk, let's talk about it, no matter what it is.
But what about
And they let it go, and let it out. They don't have a problem with crying on my show.
Sure.
Let it out, loved one. Let it out. You good.
Right.
Let it out, and you're going to feel better afterwards.
Right, but I want to know, like, personally for you, like, you know, people come to you and what is your next growth that you're going through as a development as yourself?
Taking my show national.
Right, but I mean,
that's
You didn't get
that's
that?
me.
Is he speaking Chinese?
That's
That
me.
sounds like a
Yeah,
career.
am I speaking a different language?
No. Well, what am I
Is
missing?
he?
What am I missing out of that? Because I understand that on some level of the message.
Yes.
Okay. But what does that mean for you personally as a person, as a
Well,
human?
every day I look for improvement in my life. I said that from birth to you older.
Yeah, but
I work on myself.
Yeah, but specifically, what are you working on?
Definitely being an amazing grandfather.
What does that entail?
Man, just, really being in my grandkids' life, man, there's no greater feeling, because the way I grew up in life, I remember a lot of the older cats used to be like, boy, come here. Like old cats, when I was 14, 15, come here, boy, let me talk to you.
Yeah.
I see you out here, you keep going the way you going. I guarantee you don't live to be 16. I went to their funerals. I used to be like, damn, that's fucked up. I walk away from their garage like, mad, like, fuck that old dude. He said, I'm finna die. Like, I know I'm living fucked up. Okay, I get it. I get it, But for me to still be here, loved one, and have 5 grandkids, like, that's a blessing. And I also want to still be here, healthy, in my right mind, still can walk around and move around. And see my grandkids have kids. That's like my dream. That's a dream to me. That's gonna mean the world to me, to still be in my right frame of mind and to see that. I come from nothing. I was abandoned, found an apartment, placed in a foster home. Miss Price adopted me. That's my legacy. That's what I'm leaving on this earth when I do leave here, loved one. To carry on my name, because my life was, like I said, it was shitted on at birth, and then I really love helping people, I really do. I'll give a person my last, homie. When I leave here, I can't take none of this shit with me, so I'll give a person my last, man, and it really feel good to be in a position to be able to help people, because I can remember I starved and watch people bawl while I starved with nothing, and they had it all. And that key thing that says tables turn, boy, when them tables turn, it was a trip. It definitely was a trip, loved one. I've seen it. I've seen people go from good to bad, and the same people you see going up, you see going down, And definitely, I'm glad of, who I am now, man. And I want to help people, especially with my artists, with my nephew, with my son, with my little bro. I want to see them be successful, loved one, with music. I'm going to do that. I'm going to stand on that. We're going to do that together. We're going to work together. We're going to make that happen, because I can remember a time when I didn't have that help. I didn't have that person to take me under the wing, and until I got older. I didn't have that when I was 19. Man, I was in the trenches. I didn't have that. You know, I was looked upon that, you know, very well respected in the streets, and I'm glad to still be here and not living that life. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. I'm away from that, and it feels good. And then to be able to embrace people, man. You know, I come from a person that I didn't have family. So everybody I embraced as family was people I met in the streets or that I met over the years. And they became, you know, little bros, nephews, cousins, little sis, niece. That's how my life built, you know, because I didn't have that family structure. Miss Price, they had a cool amount of people in the family, but they didn't have a big family. You know, they didn't. So I really didn't have that, you know. I've always been that one, wanted nieces, nephews, and brothers, and a humongous family. So I built my family tree, you know, from just people I've met and I've embraced. I done had a lot of bad people in my life that I embraced that's no longer in my life. So now, like I said, this right here is dangerous. I pay close attention to the people I have around me, you know, now. So I know the people that surround me now, embracing them, I'm doing the right thing because they the right people. You know, like my nephew, man, it's a good dude sitting right there. You know what I mean? Brung up well.
Right.
You know, brung up right. And I respect that. You know, my son, my little bro, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to in my position to help them get what they want in life and where they want to be at in life. And I ain't looking for nothing in return, homie. Just for me to see success amongst somebody else, because I know what success feel like, and I want to see other people be successful. But the last thing, the key thing that I'm doing right now, June 25th, Club Bahia, be there. Don't miss it. This is going to be the first official day of me taking my show national.
Yeah?
That's my first official day. The venue holds 550 people.
A live show.
Live show, my podcast, live show. I'm taking my show national.
You guys got to get tickets
Club
to this
Bahia, Eventbrite. The link is in my bio on Instagram.
All right.
I'm taking my show national. And from there, every time I have a show, I'm looking to have between 40 and 50 people in the audience every time I go live. Straight out. That's where I'm at with it. Jimmy Kimmel, you better get ready.
Get ready, Jimmy.
I'm on your heels, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Let it out, loved one.
Yeah, I love it. I see more than 50 at each show.
Yeah.
Well,
Right, start small.
Start small.
No, I'm saying I see it.
Well, the first event gonna have 550.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm cool. And then I'm a balance it. I'm a grow into it.
Yeah.
Well, you got the passion for it, man.
And I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
a great idea for you to take it live.
Yeah, for sure.
You got
And
to.
the more live and the more out there, the more people are going to get some
And
help
then
too.
take it around the world.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
OG Suicide in the house.
Yeah! In the house, in the
Y'all
nation.
listen to him on No Jumper. OG Suicide in the building. Go check out his show on No Jumper. It's a great
Yeah.
show.
And let it out, loved one.
And let it out, loved one.
Let it out,
and
loved
let it out, June 25th. All right. So go to his link in bio. You can get tickets.
Yes.
There's still about
Meet and greet tickets.
50 seats left. About 450
So
gone.
when it sell out, that's it. Don't
That's
hit my
it.
phone. Don't call me. I've been telling y'all to go get y'all tickets now. When it sell out and you go to buy a ticket and there's none there, and you call my phone, doo-doo-doo.
Yep. Yesterday's price ain't today's price, right?
At all.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be over there.
Patience. You can quote that.
There you go.
Ah.
I'm going to quote that.
Yeah.
It's all fun. Till
Yeah.
the rabbit gets the gun.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's right.
Oh, yeah.
www.supermaxhardware.com. Peep us out.
That stuck with
Cookies
you right
SF
there.
I like that.
and App Vibes Papers. You know how we do a big shout out to Burner and the family. That's Stefan Oreo and the Soul
Yeah,
Assassins.
yeah.
Big shout out Dre Hill, OG Suicide.
Yep.
And always listen to the Hard Luck Show. Now,
Yes.
on Mondays and Thursdays, 2 shows a week.
That's
you guys,
right.
right?
2
2
shows a
not
week.
3.
Shows, yeah.
Slow it down because we're getting busy.
Yeah.
His firm and my clothing company and my man over there is fucking getting crazy with the audio technician
Yeah,
stuff,
1 in
you
4
know?
people.
So, we love you. We're out of here. Let it out, loved one.
Let
Go
it
get
out,
some
young
Let it
tickets.
out, loved one. June 25th.
Yeah.
And thank you to Alien CBD. Bolt CBD.
1 in 4 people. 1 in 4 people. Were you a dancer? Were you a dancer? Sure. What was the Fat Boys one? Then isn't he in deep shit?